The first radicals weren't the Muslims. The first radicals, fundamentalists, were Catholics, actually, and the Catholic Church. And the French actually declared the Pope in the Vatican as essentially a terrorist. He's a fundamentalist, a terrorist, because why? Because he believes that humans should dictate their lives according to revelation, according to God's commands. This is backwards. This is going to destroy humanity. So Catholics are enemy number one. We have to suppress them. We have to take them from governmental positions. We have to seize their assets. We have to seize their land. We have to defund the church. And it led to actual genocide. This is the history of Europe. But it wasn't contained in Europe. It spread to the rest of the world through colonialism. And the history of colonialism is a 200-year history. It spread to first North Africa. Napoleon went to Egypt. The French went to North Africa, to Algeria. And they slaughtered, they killed, they maimed, they tortured, all in the name of freedom, reason, enlightenment. So this is a radical ideology, a bloodthirsty ideology with an extremely bloody history, not just for Muslims, but also for Jews, for Christians, for Hindus, for Buddhists. This is the colonial history. They study it. You go to the university and they study colonialism, and they have decolonial studies. How do we decolonize ourselves in the modern world? So this is a real history that we need to understand. We need to understand that this is the ideology that has been used to dominate Muslims and the rest of humanity for 200 plus years. And if we don't recognize this history and we don't recognize that this is the enemy, how are we going to respond? How are we going to protect ourselves? How are we going to protect our children? Is it possible? No. If you don't know the enemy, how can you protect against the enemy? So this is an enemy that has an extremely bloody history. But for us, in a country like Australia or the US or the West in general, it's ideological. It's brainwashing. It's taking Iman out of our communities, slowly but surely. And why? Why is this? Why is it ideological? Because the colonizer recognized that you can't just kill the Muslim. You can't just kill Muslims, or for that matter, Christians or whatever religion. You can't just kill them. You have to kill the idea. But how do you kill the idea? You can't just go to Muslims and say, leave your religion. They're not going to accept that. You have to be tricky about it. You have to be sly. So what do they say? They say that we're not here to take you out of your religion. We just want to reform your religion. We want to bring your religion in line with modern values and progress. Don't you want to progress? Don't you want to adopt human rights? Who rejects human rights? Who rejects women's rights? Who rejects freedom and equality? These are values that everyone has. So we don't want you to leave your religion. We just want you to reform your religion. And unfortunately, many fall for this. Many religions fall for this. And that's why we see Christians who have become so liberal and they've abandoned so many of their previous values and practices and beliefs. Same with Jews and Hindus and Buddhists, Sikhs. Many of the things that Muslims and Islam is criticized for today are found and were found in all of these other religions and in their books. So this is the challenge for Muslims. Can we resist? Can we stand strong in the face of this kind of extreme pressure?